In this video, I will talk about DHCP, which is Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. And this protocol dynamically allocates IP addresses to new devices or new hosts that join networks. So for example, you are an arriving DHCP client. Since you are a client in this case because you want an IP address, once you arrive in a network, you will not know the IP address that you need to set because every network, every subnetwork has its own particular range of IP addresses. So every time you move to a new network, say for example, you go from a classroom to your home or to other places with different Wi-Fi connections, you will need a new IP address every time. So which is why you will be called a DHCP client. And so there is a DHCP server that is responsible for allocating this IP address to you from a pool of available IP addresses. And then DHCP servers are also responsible for keeping track of the IP addresses that of the hosts of new hosts that enter a network and are assigned a particular IP address. And then once they leave, their IP address will be returned back to the pool of available IP addresses. So DHCP server keeps track of all of that. And so DHCP is an application layer service which relies on UDP in the transport layer. And every time hosts join or leave, DHCP updates its list of available IP addresses. And aside from assigning IP address, DHCP also gives additional information to hosts, such as obviously the subnet masks, and also the address of the default gateway and local DNS server, if there is one configured. So these are the additional information that DHCP provides new joinees or new hosts. And this information or this exchange is done in 4 steps. And in those 4 steps, an IP address can be assigned to a new host. So let's look at those 4 steps. Step 1 is called discover, where where an arriving client or where a new host discovers if there is a DHCP server there in that network and whether an IP address is available or not. So in the datagram, in the packet that we will send to the DHCP server as a client, the source IP address will be all zeros because this arriving client does not have an IP address yet. Whereas the destination IP address will be a broadcast IP address, all 255s, since the arriving client does not know the IP address of the DHCP server too. So it doesn't know its own IP address and it also doesn't know the DHCP server's IP address. So it will broadcast a message to this port 67, which is reserved. This port number is reserved for DHCP applications. So all DHCP servers will listen at port 67 for incoming DHCP discover messages. And so any arriving client will write 67 in the port number in their header, in the transport layer header. And then there's 2 additional fields here, your address and transaction ID. So the reason we need transaction ID is a single DHCP for a single DHCP server, there might be multiple arriving clients at a time. So if there's say 3 clients at a time and they're all writing source port number this, destination this, source IP address this, destination this, and source and destination port is this, there needs to be a way to distinguish between multiple transactions. So we have something called a transaction ID, which the arriving client will write into the headers. And so it'll send or it'll broadcast this DHCP discover message. Since this is a broadcast address, it will be broadcasted to everyone on that network, including other hosts. So other hosts will obviously discard that message because this is not meant for them, since hosts don't do DHCP allocations, don't do IP address allocations. But once this message reaches the DHCP server, it will know that some host is asking for an IP address. And so it will give back an offer, which is called a DHCP offer, wherein the your IP address field that was empty earlier will now be filled with an IP address that is available for assigning. So this IP address 223.1.2.4 is available and can be assigned to this arriving client. So this is how DHCP server gives an offer to the client. And along with this offer, there's also something called a lifetime, which is the lease time of that IP address. So this IP address will be valid for 3600 seconds and not more than that. And then beyond 3600 seconds, either the lease can be extended or renewed, or you can ask for a new IP address if this IP address is no longer available after 3600 seconds. So this IP address can be used by your host for only 3600 seconds. This is the IP address. And of course, the transaction ID remains the same. So this message is also a broadcast message, which means that whoever is asking for an IP address, this is the IP address available. So this message is a broadcast message. So our request, that is not our request, our discover message was broadcast, and the corresponding offer is also broadcast. And this S here, offers, means that there might be multiple DHCP servers in a network, such as if the network is too huge, there might be multiple DHCP servers. So multiple DHCP servers might give multiple offers to the same arriving client. And so the client will have to choose between these offers. Simply saying ACK here is not enough. The client will have to choose between these offers, that is between different offers of different IP addresses, and each offer will obviously have its own transaction ID. So if the client wants to choose this offer, it will send back a request message which says that I accept your offer for this IP address. And so if it accepts this offer for this IP address, the DHCP server will return back an ACK for this IP address. And basically this ACK confirms that this IP address has been granted to you for this period of time. And once all these 4 steps, the discover, offer, request, and ACK have completed, you can now, your client can now hold this IP address for this period of time, and then use this IP address for interacting with everyone else on the internet.